Welcome to the live recording of the Todd and Don Show podcast. We're live. And we want you to join us at 512-836-0590. Now, here are Todd and Don.
You got that right, Todd Jeffries, Don Pryor,
Yep.
and in the hot seats at 7:05, ladies and gentlemen, it is Mr. Patrick Osborne.
Oh, man.
Listen, Austin did purchase the Candlewood Suites, and it's been arguably one of the most controversial issues and property purchases in a long time here in this city.
Horribly.
Patrick Osborne, he's been following this from the very beginning, and kind of joins us to give us an idea of where this could go next.
Yeah, so let me kind of set the whole stage for us here. The controversy really began late last month when Williamson County Commissioner Cynthia Long found out that the Austin City Council was planning to buy the Candlewood Suites. She started making noise about it and formally placed the concern on this week's Commissioners Court agenda.
As of last Friday, City of Austin staff had not reached out to any governmental entity that I'm aware of that might be impacted by this project.
Prior to her discovery here, the city was quietly planning to pass this purchase on consent, meaning there really wouldn't have been much discussion, if any at all, over it. But as the groundswell of opposition began to take root, council kind of changed its approach here. Frida Chen, who owns Frida's restaurant right next to the Candlewood Suite, says she only heard about it because of what we'd been talking about here at the station.
One of my customers texted me, said, Frida, we heard on KLBJ.
So this lack of communication's really been at the center of a lot of the frustration and anger over this. So following a one-week delay at City Hall last week, the vote to purchase, the council brought the item back up this week. Dozens of people spoke out against it. The hotel's in council member Mackenzie Kelly's district, and she once again made a push for a delay that she thought would be amenable to the Williams County request.
This purchase and the hotel strategy is one that deserves a lot more thought and transparency. And as a community and a city, we need to acknowledge that we helped create an environment where there's strife between the housed and unhoused communities.
So she asked for a delay on that vote until August. Finding absolutely no support for that motion, the council voted in near unanimous favor of the $9.5 million purchase. Kelly was the sole no vote on council. So County Judge Bill Gravel has indicated that this is far from over. Because the county refused to communicate with Williamson County about this and refused to meet its request for that 180-day delay, Gravel may now take the city to court.
I would like to know what any and all legal remedies are available to Williamson County and what resources would be necessary to use to make the right decision.
But for now, at least, Austin has purchased the second hotel for the homeless in as many weeks, the other being in Travis County on Burnett Road, the Texas Bungalows. Both of those properties are valued at millions of dollars less by their respective counties than what Austin will actually end up paying here.
All right,
so it sounds like the Williamson County will continue fighting against this, even though the city has, formalized that purchase.
And it sounds like Williamson County is just trying to figure out what the next step is.
All they want is communication. That's all they've been asking for all week is just talk to us. Come sit down. Let's talk about the impacts on the school district, the community, the businesses. That's all we want. We're not opposed to a shelter. We just want to talk. The city, it fell on completely deaf ears.
I think it's a legitimate request for the folks of Williamson County. What are you going to do with this place that's now in our county? That's a legitimate request.
When a one-week delay was given last week, the council pretty much, even the mayor, made it very clear, we're not going to delay anything more than this 1 week. And we only did this out of the kindness of our hearts to Councilmember Kelly.
I still think there's just a bigger game plan at play here when it comes to these hotels they're buying in each and every district. I think there's more to do with Code Next as part of this, creating some transportation corridors, maybe even turning it into full-on Section 8 housing. I think that's a real possibility. And the reason I say that is because Jessica Ettinger brought that up earlier this morning on CNBC about how these hotels are being picked up by investors and governments all across the country.
Yeah, it's getting really hot to find a beaten-down hotel, buy it, and turn it into affordable apartments. Hotel conversions are becoming lucrative.
The shortage is now critical. Affordable so-called Class C apartments are 96% occupied nationally. Meanwhile, hotels are in deep trouble. But it creates an opportunity for investors like developer David Peters to buy properties to convert at bargain basement prices.
There you go. That's pretty interesting. It's sweeping them up all across the country.
Well, at a time when hotels are not doing any business, it's very attractive to hotels to sell.
Yeah,
and it's
no doubt.
There's a lot of that they've got a lot of bargaining power too.
Thank you, Patrick. We got that story on the front page of our websites at newsradioklbj.com. There you go. So jump in. We'd love to get your thoughts, your reaction, and this is a big deal because it's your money. It's your neighborhood over there. Just a stone's throw away from Westwood High School and other homes in that neighborhood.
And clearly, our city officials here in Austin could care less about anything that you're going to, anything that's going to result from this that might not be good for your business or your home, your property values, whatever. They don't care. They just absolutely don't care, and not even willing to consider their point of view.
Yeah, the Hampton Inn and Suites that's right next door, they share an address. They share a fence. They share a driveway.
Yeah.
I just wonder what the Hampton Inn and Suites will look like 2 years from now.
Yeah,